A big reason why new freelance writers aren't getting any clients is that they don't have a lot of writing samples in their portfolio, or they don't even have a portfolio because they don't have a website, I don't know where to get a portfolio and all that. So I want to help you so much that this is the ultimate freelance writing portfolio guide for brand new writers, okay? Because this is the biggest tool you need for sure, because a freelance portfolio shows your latest and best work as a writer, and that is crucial to getting clients to hire you. It will be very hard to get hired if you don't show potential clients your writing. So that's why it's important as a beginner to work on building your freelance writing portfolio. This is like one of the foundational steps that I teach in my course, Write Your Way to Your First 1K, of building your writer platform. And your platform is your portfolio. And then on top of that are other marketing strategies that I delve into in the course to build a strong portfolio. But this is like a big foundational block of your platform is your portfolio. Here is a snapshot of some of the samples that I have in my freelance writing portfolio on my writer website. Now, I will go through in this ultimate guide of what to do if you don't have a website right away, what you can do, because you don't need to wait to get a website to get a portfolio. It's better to just get your work out there as fast as possible and start pitching and landing work. And then you can worry about, getting that website, building your brand, doing all the things as a freelance writer. How else is a portfolio important for a freelance writer? So not only does it help you get work, but it can show potential clients you can actually write. That's important. The writing that clients pay for isn't the writing that you do at school. It's not essay format. Most likely it's not an opinionated type of article, okay? There's a specific way of writing that appeals to online businesses. It can also show that you can write for others, that others will pay you or publish you. And that's important because that shows other clients if that person or that brand trusts that writer to write about their company or to write about their products or services, then they might be a good writer for my business. It shows your knowledge and expertise in a particular subject. Again, one of the foundational pieces to starting a freelance writing business is to know and understand your writing niche, or niche, as other people say. I say niche. I'm, I guess, American, so that's how we say it here. But above all, your freelance portfolio is social proof. It is social proof, and you need the social proof. That's why you want testimonials from your clients. That's why you want to get published on other and a variety of websites. It's that social proof that tells potential clients and other business owners that, hey, look at this writer. This writer has written for X, Y, and Z. They are all over the place. I see them on LinkedIn. I see them on X. I see them everywhere. They even have a YouTube channel. Wow, this writer is everywhere. She's prolific, and her portfolio backs that up, right? That's what you want to show when you start your freelance writing business. Now, of course, what I just shared with you is the top, what you're going to be ending up with down the road, years to come. In the beginning, you're not going to have a YouTube channel. You don't even need one. You may not even have a profile on LinkedIn yet or on X. You may not have a website or a brand. These things, that's okay. Okay. But what you do need is a portfolio. So what can make a good portfolio item? Well, it all depends on your niche and service. So I give some examples here. Let's say you want to write Amazon product descriptions, or just product descriptions in general. Then your portfolio should include these mock-ups of product descriptions. It's okay to have a fake business or describe a fake business in these mock-ups. That is okay as long as you put in your portfolio page, here is a mock-up of Amazon product descriptions, or here is sunglasses product descriptions. Maybe you just want to target shoe companies or sunglass companies or clothing companies. You can create those mockups for fictitious companies, and you can do that with Canva. Canva gives you a lot of opportunities to showcase these mockups. So if I just type in Amazon product description in Canva, it gives you sort of this image here that you could use And then on that, you can put the description on it. So if I do something like this kettle, we can see this entails. So it has page 1. Here you go, page 2, page 3. So this is sort of like almost like a brochure that you can highlight this product description in this manner. You can also just go, to Amazon and, find, and then we can type in bottle and do a mock-up of this. You can have the picture and then have it even look like this about the item here in this capacity. So you can have the image or even have like a water bottle image here and just make it very simple. Right? So we can let's do create almost like a social media post, like almost like a Facebook corner here. And then we can go here to photos, type in water bottle. Okay. So there's lots of water bottles here. So I'm going to pick this one and then I'm going to name it. I don't even know what are some names on Amazon that they have here? Water bottle with straw, 32-ounce sports, motivational. So mine's not motivational, but I can say, and the brand could be Eco Water Pack, and then pink water bottle like that. So I can do something like this. And then I can look at these Amazon ads and get some ideas of how to describe it, because a company wants this type of ad for, let's say, Amazon in particular, how they're going to, what are all the different words you can put into this title so that, it has the right keywords. Now, I wouldn't just go and copy it. I just copied the basics here, but then I would go and do my research. You can even use ChatGPT and say, I want to write an Amazon product description for my Eco Water Pack pink bottle that's with a straw that it's 32 ounces and it's sports. Give me some different keywords that I can use in my title, and it can help you in that manner, that it's sports, gym, school, it's proper for school, no spill could be a keyword, things like that. And then underneath was a bullet list, right? It was a bullet list of stuff. So I'm going to add a text box here. I'm going to make this 15. I'm going to make this, and then just do, no spill action or whatever the description are. I'm not an ad writer, as you can see, so I don't even know what to put in here. If you're supposed to put sentences, and you can make this, you can look at this and be like, I don't want to write like that. I want to write some copywriting sentences with maybe a bullet list and then a really nice comprehensive description for each bullet list. So you can get the bullet list items from your client, and then you can write about it. So this could be your mock-up like this, and then you can just download it and upload it to a portfolio site, and we'll go through your portfolio items and what it would look like. But it could be a mock-up. It could even be if you want to have a public view link of this, so then you can create a public link and then you can copy this. And then this is the link that you can give to potential clients that would look like this. So you can grab the link in your pitches in your email. This will be a portfolio item. Okay. So there's lots of ideas around just creating these mock-ups. It's very easy in that capacity. If I was a ad writer, you can even do it for email writing. You could do it for social media graphics. There's lots here. If you decide to do something like, let's say, social media, and you are on LinkedIn already and you've been on, Instagram or whatever, then you can probably showcase your analytics. I've been on LinkedIn, so I can show my analytics here. With the posts that I've had a 44% uptick here, uptick in followers, things like that, where I can prove to clients that my LinkedIn post is resonating with my audience and I'm growing my brand in that capacity. And I can do the same for their brand. All right. So you can do this. It's not necessary, but it's just sort of like a level up to helping you land client work with those mock-ups. But one of the best types of portfolio ideas are blog posts. I love blog posts, and Write Your Way to First 1K. That is the method or the teaching that I do is blog writing because it is highly versatile. Once you know how to write a blog post online for businesses, then you can write email campaigns. You can write landing pages, ebooks, ads, and sales pages. You can. Even though I've never written an ad, I can dive into. There probably are blog posts on how to write a Facebook ad, how to write an Amazon product description to sell, things like that, where I can learn and then I can apply what I've learned into a sample, a portfolio item. Now, with every portfolio item, your writing sample must be error-free. So, free of any type of spelling mistakes or grammar issues that you have. You need to really nip that in the bud and have your best writing in your portfolio. It also needs to be, I didn't put in here, but it must be relevant. Like, it needs to be current. It can't be an item from a long time ago. It shows that you can write for an audience. So that's important too, that your sample isn't just so general that it's for the masses, but it's specific to a B2B audience or a B2C audience. This is business to business. This is the type of writing that I do. I do SaaS writing, software as a service writing, for other business owners, right? I write about a tool that they can use for their business. Or B2C. I've also written for B2C clients where I write for course platforms that want to help course creators. They're the customers. They want to start their business. I mean, they're in between a B2B and a B2C, but I think of it as a B2C type of client. Your portfolio item must be published. Now, that goes in with it being current. So it will be hard if your writing samples are not published and you have to attach them in your email. Potential clients may view this as you are too new or your experience isn't relevant. Like I said, I understand that if you have like mock-ups, like I just showed you, you can share a link in your pitch and that could be what you show them. As long as you explain, I have some mock-ups that they're here. Here are the links to those mock-ups that you can look at. That is okay, rather than uploading it as an email attachment. That is better because having a link sort of means that it's published in a way, right? Like I said, nowadays it's easy to publish your content online through Medium, through LinkedIn, if you have a blog. There are even portfolio sites. I have other videos on my YouTube channel here that you can take a look on different portfolio sites that you can use. So how do you build a freelance writing portfolio? You need a lot of samples. And just to let you know, I do have a mini masterclass on the writing sample starter kit with lots of sample ideas and a step-by-step process, a video of how to write your first sample. You can go to courses.profitablecreative.com/p/writing-sample-starter-kit if you want, or just go to courses.profitablecreative.com to get the list of all my products there. But this is a popular masterclass. Many new writers take this to help them get their portfolio going, and then maybe later they enroll in Write Your Way to First 1K to build their freelance writing business, because that's more of a business course than a writing course. So with multiple writing samples, so I want you to think about having more than 3 in a particular niche or niche. You can land consistent client work, okay? But it all starts with that one writing sample. And the best way to attract clients with a portfolio is to pick a niche and then pick a popular topic in that niche. So we can use my niche, which is SaaS writing, and I can pick a popular website and plug that into ChatGPT and ask it to find content gaps. I haven't done it, so let's see if it does. So Omniscient has a blog here, and I noticed that, they have different writers here, which is good. This all tells me that this is a brand that hires writers. So I can feed this into ChatGPT. So I just want to be very general. Give me content gaps for that site. So they're showing me what they're covering. And then here are some gaps. I would be very careful, especially in my niche of SaaS tools, to write about tools, because the company may be a tool and you don't want to write about competitor tools, right? So that's something to think about. So I would look beyond that and look at like industry specific SEO strategies. Seems pretty cool. Optimizing content for B2B healthcare compliance. If that was sort of my lean in, like with healthcare, maybe more with like influencer might be better. There's case studies, user experience, interactive, emerging channel strategies. The blog touches on podcasts and micro content, but lacks content about using other platforms. Great. So then I can focus on YouTube. So YouTube SEO for brands. So I wouldn't do a case study if I can't find one, but I can do best practices. So for me, this would be a nice portfolio piece that would target something like this brand, but can also target SaaS companies that do YouTube or other companies that market on social media as well as YouTube. All right. So this is a writing sample that can appeal to different clients in my niche. And so I would write something like this. And you can write it in Google Docs. I usually write my content in Google Docs and then I can, edit it, snazz it up. There's not a lot of distractions when I'm using Google Docs. And then I can just copy and paste it onto LinkedIn or Medium or whatnot. Do whatever works for you. So I can look at the blog to see if they do listicles. Do they do lists? It doesn't look like. So I'm not going to do like 12 YouTube tips. I'm not going to do that if it's not part of their brand and it doesn't look like it. Oh, here's some. Okay, so there's one here. So it is possible. But I probably wouldn't write it as a listicle. I can say, and I don't want to do something like an ultimate guide for a writing sample that's too comprehensive, and you don't want to waste sort of your resources, your time on these big ultimate guides, right? And plus, potential clients aren't going to be really reading your sample. They're going to be skimming. They're going to look at your format. They're going to look at the topic. They might read a couple points, but it doesn't have to be that long. These samples, especially for blog posts, I would make it no more than probably 1,800 words, 1,500 words as sort of like my baseline, and then go a bit over. So I can do something like for a title, how to use YouTube for B2B brands. And then in my post or my writing sample, I'm going to talk about YouTube as a marketing channel and potential reasons why B2B brands aren't using YouTube. I want to find a stat on this. Is it true that maybe only 10% of B2B brands are on YouTube? Or am I wrong? Is it 80% of brands are on YouTube? And I'm speaking to the 20% that aren't on YouTube, or I'm speaking to those that have a dead channel. So I have to, again, I'm tailoring it to my audience of brands that I've seen lots of B2B brands on YouTube, and their most recent video is 3 years old. I feel like a lot of these brands want to start a YouTube, but they just don't know what to do. They don't know how to be consistent with it. They don't, all that. So, my posts can target that, how to use, so then I can do like a colon, building a consistent marketing channel for growth, something like that, where I want to teach in my writing sample some consistent methods for channel growth, for business growth. It could be hiring it out, having an arm in your business for YouTube. A lot of businesses don't want to invest in YouTube until they know that it's profitable, right? It takes a while to grow that. So maybe I can talk about that. If I can find a case study about like one company that just went all in and this is what happens versus companies that don't go all in, this is what happens. There's a lot of angles, but again, I want to narrow it down so that it's easy for a potential client to read it, understand it, realize that I am knowledgeable. I have stats in here. I might have a case study. I might find a podcast, listen to it, and find a quote. I might do these things that might take a little bit of time, but it really showcases my best writing for my writing sample. So that might mean going a little bit beyond just writing, here are 3 tips for YouTube building if you're a B2B brand. I'm not going to do something like that. It's very cookie cutter. Everyone's doing that. I want to be a little bit different. And that's what you want to treat your writing samples, just a little bit different so that it stands out. You don't have to do that for every single writing sample. If you are, let's say, in the beauty niche and more B2C, your writing's going to focus more on these like snackable types of content that are listicles. And so you would find those blogs, those magazines, and see how they're written. How are they written? Are they small, actionable tips? Are they 800 words? You want to emulate that. You want to copy that with your style of writing so that you can pick up those types of clients. Now, with your writing sample, where do you share it? I have alluded to some places that isn't your website. What's the best place to create a portfolio if you don't have a website yet? For me, I would choose LinkedIn or Medium or both. Now on LinkedIn, you can showcase your portfolio items. Here under featured, I have links to my actual client pieces, but for you, since you don't have clients, you would link to your content pieces on LinkedIn or on Medium. You can do guest blogging. So if there's a guest blog out there and you have a link, then you can link it here and have that. I wrote for the Good Men Project and I can link to that if I want to. This is my post here on the Good Men Project that I have a link now. I have a bio. It's short. It's not that long. I can use that if I want to market my writing to potential clients, but I'm not going to because this is not my niche. So I'm not just going to grab anything that I've written and put it in my portfolio. So I'm not going to show this. But I have it here online. If, let's say, I really want to target, editing tools and stuff, well, then maybe I can use this one. All right. So to help you out with building a freelance writing portfolio, let's look at some examples. A lot of these are women because I do sort of gravitate towards their content on LinkedIn, but I do have Jake here as one example. So let's look at Lizzie Davy here. I've known her for over a decade. We've collaborated. She's great. And I want to show her portfolio because she is highly minimal in her portfolio and it hasn't dampened her business. She is thriving in her business still, even though she has a very minimal portfolio. So if you start a website or if you have a portfolio site, you can just list like a bullet list here that are linkable to your content. And she has broken it up into these topics under her niche of e-commerce and SaaS business. You can see that you don't have to be, a wowzer in your portfolio. You can be very simple. And I like that about this portfolio example. Ashley is another writer that, we've collaborated. I know. And her portfolio is also very minimal. She's sectioned it off to the type of services that she has. So she writes blog posts, ebooks and guides, case studies, reports, newsletters and ads, magazine and journals. So she actually has a variety of services. She's putting the ones at the bottom here that probably are the ones that she doesn't do very often. And these might be kind of old, but that's okay. It shows to a potential client that if they do need someone to write their ads, then they can take a look here and then just glean over and be like, I think she's the writer for me kind of thing. So I like her portfolio because it is sectioned off by services and that there are a lot of writing sample ideas under each service. She does put blogs as first because that's probably her primary way of getting paid and her favorite method of writing would be blog posts. And then next are these guides. You can probably get a lot of money for these. So she wants to put this next because this is a profitable silo of her business. All right. So you can even do it something like this where you section off your services and then have the links to what it is. And she puts where Lizzie puts the name of the title of the post and then in parentheses the brand, Ashley puts the brand here because she might even have an author page with all of her articles. So here is an article reel here of the company hashtag paid. She does have blog post title for copy hackers because she doesn't have any more posts for copy hackers. So if she has an article reel, it says here, and that shows that clients, again, another sort of flex for Ashley. They're like, look, I have several clients that I've written for several years or several articles. And now I have an article reel on their business page, right? That's a little bit of a flex here. But if you're brand new, and even I don't have that many article reels for my clients, then, you can just put the name of the brand and then a link to it if you want, or the name of the blog post and then the brand like Lizzie did here. Okay. So there's lots of different examples for a portfolio. The next one is Jessica Walrack. Now, I have featured her in one of my videos. What I like about her is that this entire website is her portfolio. So that is something to consider, that you don't have to have an about section. You don't have to have a testimonial section if you don't want to. You can just put up a basic website that just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. It's one page, but it is cohesive and it's something that I'm really gravitating towards. I really like this method. So I wanted to share that with you. So she goes right into her services. She goes into a picture of her and then a little bit of about section there. And then her testimonials are on here too. See, so she has all the components of a website on one page. And then she has her services with rates, but what you get for that rate. She has examples here that she's been featured on or writes for CBS News, right? These are huge brands that can command a lot of money for her writing because she's basically a journalist. Here is more service, like her service under blog post writing, and then the examples of those blog posts. Why are they worth $3,000, $6,000? Here are my examples and to back it up. Long form articles that are finance related. This is what she has here. So she has all that, and she has links to getting started to probably a calendar or a page to set up an appointment for her. So I really like this format for a freelance writing portfolio. And then the last one is Jake Perry. I like his website. It's a website that has all the pages that I would recommend for a new writer to have: a services page or an about section. You don't have to have a blog. I would have a testimonials and then more of a contact me kind of thing. But what I really like about Jake's portfolio is the way it's designed. So he probably has a plugin for WordPress for the editor to create these boxes. I'm not sure if the WordPress editor on its own has this capability, but it might. So I like how it does that. I know when I do my blog post, I can put a grid. And so it's similar to this, but it's not I don't think I have it all colorful like this. But this is very easy nowadays with the WordPress editor that you can use to create these blocks or grid style kind of thing. So I like that where it has everything here. The only thing would be, I don't know what I'm looking at. Are these only blog posts? So maybe under portfolio, I would have a little blurb saying, here are all my latest blog writing samples from, and then travel companies or from whatever companies. And then that will at least help me a little bit to see what I'm looking at here. Those are all the samples to help you with your freelance writing portfolio. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions for me about this. I do have other videos where I talk about creating a writing portfolio, so you can always take a look at those ones. But I really wanted to give you a snapshot of all the elements. And don't forget to enroll in my writing sample starter kit. I think it will really help you gain that confidence in your first sample, so then you can write your next sample and your next sample, and then you can host them on your portfolio. Otherwise, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.